Hello, magical people. So today I wanted to film, I guess you would call it a coronavirus update. I kind of wanted to document this partially for my son, and I also was shocked by some of the stuff that I saw yesterday. I went out for the third time in 2 weeks. Two of those other times were for appointments. So it's just been a little surreal for me. I was already a stay-at-home mom when this started, so I was more or less used to being in a lot. And he's currently a 6-month-old child. So there are things that are happening about this that are really scary as a parent, especially as an infant, because, like, you can't get wipes, you can't get diapers, you can't get formula very easily. And I, unfortunately, in a formula mom, um, I struggled with breastfeeding to the point where we had to fully switch over to formula. So it's scary that there might be a day where I need to go to the store and get formula and I can't. Um, so I have stocked up a little bit, but not so much because I'm also thinking about other moms and I'm thinking about other people who might not be able to financially stock up and buy those things in advance. So those things are just kind of scary, as a parent, especially with an infant and you need all that stuff. Um, it's just kind of wild. On the other hand, he just started teething this week, and I didn't have, all the teething stuff because you kind of get that stuff as it happens and as you experience it. So I got a notification yesterday that Gwinnett County, where I live, which is outside of Atlanta, we're now under our stay at home. And I was like, well, I need to go get this teething stuff now because sometimes some things are not being prioritized on Amazon to purchase. So I may not be able to get those things in time to help him, um, depending on Amazon's choices on what they deem important and not important. So I went out to Target yesterday, and I have to say I commend Target themselves. They had a crew with cleaning carts in basically every area that I went through, and they were constantly re-sanitizing things, which was really nice. The checkout lines had like X's on the floor marked on, here's where you stand to be 6 feet apart. Um, I didn't see anyone sanitizing the carts or the hand baskets. So I don't have proof on how they were handling that. But then they're the people of Target. They're like teenagers and they're shopping for clothes. And I was like, what the heck? So I kind of beeline for the baby aisle, and I knew if I find diapers, if I find wipes, if I find formula, I'm going to grab one of each just in case. Um, and there was this couple, they every time I turned around, they were there. And I was like, guys, come on, would you give me the 6 feet of space? And even Target was announcing over the intercom, please give space for the health of yourself and our employees. And um, people were just not listening to that. And it was bothering me so much. I was like, it was just infuriating. I was just getting angry at people, and I really wanted to speak out and be like, yo, um, so I went down the baby aisle, and I was in the food aisle for baby food because he is also weaning onto real foods. And this lady comes up and she's like, I'm down on the lower shelf, kind of kneeling to get his food, and she's stepping over me to grab food from the upper shelf. And I was like, really? Come on. It's just ridiculous. So I did say something to her. I was like, can you wait a moment? I'm just grabbing a couple things and then you can have this space. But if you would please give me my space. She looked at me like I had lost my mind, but she did give me my space. So win, lose, kind of. And then that couple, every time I went down an aisle, they seemed to be there. And so I was like nearing the food section and it was packed with people. And like there are 2 or 3 people in a row. And I'm like, y'all know that's not 6 feet apart. And then the, a lot of Target employees were also in the food area because they were getting online orders for people to pick up. And like one guy had gloves on and he, seemed to be, following safe practices. The other guy was like, yeah, whatever. And he was just picking stuff up. And I was like, it's just crazy. So if you get an online order, you still probably need to sanitize the heck out of it. If you go to a store, you need to sanitize the heck out of it. They suggest that you leave like unessential items in your car for 3 days because the coronavirus can live up to 3 days on certain surfaces. It's like 3 days on like metal surfaces, 24 hours on cardboard. I think it's 2 days on plastic surfaces. So it's just kind of like just be extra cautious. Monday's probably going to be a big deal here. We're going to see a lot of businesses shut down that have been trying to struggle along. Um, you know, it's just going to be wild. So I just wanted to make a video because I was kind of shocked at the way that people were being in Target and not so much Target employees. They were being great. Um, and, just as a mama, a new mom, this is my first kid. It's already scary enough because you don't know what the heck you're doing. And then you add in, the coronavirus, which is scary. And then you add in, oh, people are hoarding baby essentials. And it's like, you're probably going to have more diapers than your child's ever going to fit in because he or she is going to outgrow that size that you've decided to hoard. And it's just wild. So I just kind of wanted to make this video saying like, we're lucky. My husband is working from home most days. They are requiring him to go in a couple of days because they're like, someone still needs to be in the office, which I think is pretty bogus, but he is in the office almost alone. What bothers me is his boss is also there, and his boss is in the next cubicle. And Joe's like, oh, that's 6 feet apart. And I'm like, not really, but it's close. So we're just going to have to see what Monday brings. This weekend is the first weekend with the shutdown, and I think most people who are being self-conscious citizens are already staying at home and have been kind of following that. But I think it's going to crack down more on like the amount of people who can go to the grocery store during certain times and things like that. I wish that this had come sooner, which sounds weird, but we have 64 deaths in Georgia, which is, pretty crazy. And it was like, 7 at the beginning of this week. And, one of the things that was sad is like there was a mom who worked at a hospital. She did ultrasounds and she contracted the virus and died in her home. And her child was not found for like, I think they said 24 hours or maybe a little over that, and it's just, if it's just crazy. So I say check in on your loved ones, make sure you guys, remain contact, Skype, Duo, use your Amazon Alexa, whatever you need to do. Stay in contact with people, help people out if you can, and don't hoard essentials for medical staff or for babies because that's ridiculous. Anyway, I usually don't make this kind of video. I'm not very political. I try not to be on this kind of platform, but it's just kind of like, it's just a weird world. So I just want to make that quick video and say we're doing well. I don't want anyone to think like we're not. Right now we have everything we need, and hopefully Amazon is starting to prioritize baby items like food and diapers. So hopefully in the future, if I do need to order those things, it will be possible. We have enough for now. I have wipes for days just because some reason that was one of the things that was gifted to me the most during my baby showers. So I am totally fine on that. In fact, I probably have some I could share, which I've offered to my community. I don't know. It's just wild. So weird, kind of not my style video, but I just wanted to say we're doing okay. Please don't be that person in Target who is shopping over top of another person. I just kept thinking, like, what if she sneezed or something? And, it's falling down on my head, like there's no, um, you know, just be conscious, be a good person. Anyway, sending all my love, all my Disney happiness to everyone out there. If anyone needs someone to talk to or to reach out to, I am very willing to be available. You just have to work around my kid. So, anyway, have a magical day, and we'll see you in the next one.